Hi everyone, it's Lynn Dion here from Pink Whisper Designs. Today we're going to create a really fun crafty gift card holder. So let's go ahead and get started. So for stamps today we're using two stamp sets from Art Impressions, the craft bag set and the tool bag set. And these are fairly new. And what we're going to do is switch these. We're going to put those little crafty supplies in that tool bag. But we're going to decorate that tool bag to be really pretty, and it'll look like a little scrapbooking bag when we're done with it. And those sets also come with the coordinating dies. For paper, I'm using the Flower Market 6x6 Petite paper pack from Fawn, and we're going to select that pretty lavender color. I'm going to ink up that tool bag using the VersaFine Onyx Black ink, and I'm using my STAMPendable stamping tool to press that down. For paper, I'm using the Strathmore Bristol Smooth 100-pound cardstock, and I'm going to go ahead and stamp this again. This will be for some of the decorative trim on our little tool bag. So we're going to do a little bit of paper piecing here. So let's stamp that again. And now we can go ahead and grab the coordinating die, and we can go ahead and die cut this. So I'm going to run this through the Sizzix Sidekick machine. And what you'll see when we die cut this is all these little openings are cut out for all of either the tools if you're using it as a tool bag, but here we're going to tuck our crafty supplies in there. And I'm just trying to show you all those little openings are cut out there. So we have lots of places to tuck in our little crafty elements. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing with this white one. I'll go ahead and die cut that as well. And then what I'm going to do is die cut one more without stamping it. I'm just going to die cut that out of some Strathmore Bristol Smooth cardstock. And that's just to give a little bit of substance to our craft bag. So I'm going to go ahead and glue these together. So this one that has no stamping on it, I'm going to glue to the back of this floral one. And then for this other bag here that we stamped out of the white cardstock, I'm going to use that to create some trim on our little craft bag. So I'll grab my detail scissors and I'm going to cut out some of those areas that I want to add to my bag. I thought this was the easiest way to add some trim elements. You could certainly use some colored cardstock here, some purple, or even some glitter paper would be really pretty here as well. So I'll take a little bit of time here to cut these pieces out that I'm looking for, and then we'll glue them onto that other bag. And again, that will give us some pretty white trim. So you can see that there. We'll just lay these back on. So let's grab the Nuvo Deluxe adhesive and we can start gluing these pieces on. You can already see that makes the trim work on this bag stand out a little bit better. So at this point, I should mention that all of the products I'm using today are listed and linked down below and also on my blog. And I have done a card with that little scrapbooking bag previously, so I'll link that down below for you as well if you're interested in taking a look at that. So here I'm going to just do a little bit more detail work, and then I've got my light gray Zig pen and I'm going to add a few little shadows to that white trim. And I'll use my blender pen just to quickly blend that out. So very little coloring here. So if you aren't loving to color things, this might be the way to go. This paper piecing is really simple and easy to do. Now I've got my Jelly Roll gel pen in the metallic silver, and I'm just going to add a little bit of sparkle here and there. So now let's go ahead and grab all the little crafty elements from the craft bag die set, Stamp and Die set, And again, I'm using that VersaFine Onyx Black ink, and I'm stamping them on the Strathmore Bristol Smooth cardstock. And to color these in, I'm using the Tombow Twintone Bright markers. These are really fun. This is a water-based marker. It's a dual tip marker, so let me show you that here really quickly. And again, to do my blending with these, I am going to use my Zig Blender pen, but you could certainly use a water brush here as well. So that's the detail tip on one end and a brush tip on the other. Now that nib is not real soft. It is a little bit of a harder nib, but you can see that I can easily blend it out with either the water or the blender pen. So let me show you here. We'll do some quick coloring here. So I'm going to grab that purple tone, and I'll start with this little glue bottle and add a little bit of that purple to each side and then pull it in towards the center. And you do get 12 markers with this set. Again, this is the Brights collection. And so I did find these fairly easy to blend. Again, that tip is more of a bullet tip. So it's not that soft brush tip that you might get with a Tombow, regular Tombow marker. So keep that in mind. But again, for these small images, I found the blending to be very simple. And this would be great. These markers would be great if you do journaling and things like that, because you do have that fine tip on the other end. And it's also good to get into some of these little tiny areas on these images as well. Now I'll switch to that lime green. And there is also a Tombow blender pen that is available, which would also work here. I love my Zig blender pen, so I always tend to reach for that. Just I'm used to it. It's easy to use, but certainly your Tombow blender pen would work really well here. So now I've got that pretty pink color. So keep in mind this little gift card holder, I'll be showing you that here in a second. It's just one die that cuts out the entire gift card holder, and it's really easy to assemble, and you do get some additional coordinating dies with that as well. And there are some add-on sets for the gift card holder for all the different seasons that make it really easy to put one of these together. There's Christmas, Halloween, there's all kinds of different add-ons that you could use with this, that are designed to be used with this gift card holder. So keep that in mind as well. So now I switch to that orangey tone. And now I've got the brown. I'm going to use that on the base of these paintbrushes and also on these pencils. I'm just placing a little at the top and the bottom, and then I'm just going to bring that in towards the center. I'm using my light gray Zig pen to do some of these other areas. That bright set does not come with a gray. It does have a black, but I just thought it would be easier just to use my Zig light gray to do some of that shadowing here. And I'll add some shadowing to my little notepad as well. So now that we have these all colored in, let's go ahead and grab the coordinating dies. I'll tape those down with a little bit of purple tape and run those through the Sizzix Sidekick machine. Now let's go ahead and start tucking these into our little craft bag. This is the fun part. Just kind of deciding where you want all these little elements to go. And I'm just using a little bit of Nouveau Deluxe adhesive on the back and then tucking those items in and tacking them down. Now we'll be adding some Scotch foam mounting tape later to the back of this, so that'll also help to hold these in place. And again, this is fun. Just this process was really fun. Just kind of deciding where I wanted to put everything. So you can see everything is in our little bag. Now let's create the envelope gift card holder. And again, this is from Art Impressions. And as I mentioned before, you get a bunch of little elements to go with this as well. Some little tags, some little circles and scallop circle for your sentiments or for a little label on the back of your gift card holder. So I'm taping that down to some Lawn Fawn textured dot cardstock in the Pastels. And again, we're going to use that pretty lavender color. You can see that pretty dot pattern you get on this paper. So I'll run that through the Spellbinder's Platinum 6 die cutting machine. And this creates all the little score lines and that little slit that we need to create this gift card holder. So let's just fold these two tabs in on each side and press that out with the bone folder. And then that little flap at the top will close the gift card holder. So on these two little tabs, we're going to go ahead and add some Lawn Fawn 1/4 inch double-sided tape. This is a super strong adhesive. You do want to use something strong here because you're going to be pulling these elements in and out of your little gift card holder. So I'll just cut away the excess here. And then this is really easy to assemble. I'm just going to use my bone folder to press down that release paper. It just makes it a little easier to get that backing off that tape. And then I just need to fold in these two tabs and bring up this flap at the bottom here. So it's really quite simple. Again, I'll just press that out and you can see that closes up and slides right inside that little slit there. So here's how our little scrapbooking bag, our little stamping bag is going to fit on the front. And here's where I'm going to add that Scotch foam mounting tape to pop this up. But again, it'll also hold these elements in place that we added inside the bag. So if you were worried about that, this is a great way just to secure everything from the back here. And then I'll remove the backing from all of these. And I'm just going to center it on the front of the gift card holder. So let's add a few of these pretty metallic pearls, silver little embellishments from Pinkfresh Studios. And I just laid out a few here, and I'm going to use my Marvy jewel picker to pick those up, and then we'll glue those down with that Nouveau Deluxe adhesive. So let's create the little note card for the inside of the gift card holder. I've got some white cardstock at 3 1/4 inches by 2 inches and some lavender cardstock at 3 inches by 1 3/4 inch. And for the sentiment today, I'm using the Art Impressions Watercolor Sentiment Set, and you can see all these really pretty sentiments you get. We're going to be using that one that says, "To a Dear Friend." So I'll place that in my Mini Misty stamp positioner. And that lavender cardstock, again, is that texture dot cardstock from Lawn Fawn. I'll go ahead and stamp that with the VersaFine Onyx Black ink again. And I'm just centering that. And then we can go ahead and glue these two pieces together. So that'll fit nicely inside our gift card holder. And then I've got a couple more little embellishments here. I did stamp and die cut another pair of the scissors, and I colored that in with that bright pink color this time. And then here's the gift card, so you can see there's plenty of room for both of these inside that little holder. So now let's grab a bow from the Front Porch Christmas set. This is a brand new set I haven't even used yet, but I did want to grab, I love that little bow, so I'm going to grab that and use that along with the coordinating dies. So let me place that on a small acrylic block. And for that, I'm using the Watercolor Travel Box. This is from Art Impressions, and you get 3 little acrylic blocks in here, 3 different sizes, and you get a watercolor palette as well. And that's a great place to store all your little crafty supplies. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp 2 of these bows. And then I'll use those same markers to color this in, and I'm going to use that pretty purple color. I'll add a few shadows, just kind of like next to the knot there, and kind of pull that out. So I'll just add a few shadows, just adding more layers of that purple color. I'm not using more than one color here. I'm just going to use that purple and just keep coming in with that color and adding more and more shadows, just until you get that look that you're going for. So I went ahead and colored that second one off camera. And then we'll grab that coordinating die and run that through the Sizzix Sidekick machine. I'm just using some Post-it tape there to tape that down. So now let's go ahead and add these bows to our card. This one I couldn't decide if I wanted it up towards the top there, but then I decided to put it down here just for a little bit more interest here on this bag. And then we'll take that second one, put it on the inside on that little note card. And I'm also going to add a few little buttons here. These are just some little mini buttons that I had in my stash, and I just thought those would be cute on this as well. So let's go ahead and add these. And again, this would be a great little gift card holder for a crafty friend. If you put in a little crafting gift card in there to your favorite craft store, your favorite scrapbooking store, they would love it. It's a great little fun project too. So let's go ahead and add some Wink of Stella. This is just a clear glitter pen to these little bows. Do keep in mind that it is a water-based product, so you might move that ink around just a little bit, so kind of dab that Wink of Stella on to your project. So now let's take a closer look at the finished craft bag, and I just think this is so cute. And we can tuck that right inside along with the gift card or a little note, whatever you want to put in there would be great. You could even put cash in there as well. So I really hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please hit the like button and subscribe. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so that you don't miss a single video. As always, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you all have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.